Hey everyone, how are you doing? It's Craig Campbell from Pastor Craig's Vintage Cards, and back with another video. And today we're going to be taking a look at George Alusik and this beautiful 1963 Topps card. Love the color match here on it with the blue and the red and that Kansas City Athletic red uniform. Really cool. And I've said it before, but I just really like the backs of these 1963s. Great card. You can see his first year in the minor leagues was 1953. He was 6'3", so a fairly tall guy. And then he had won 2 batting crowns in the minor leagues. And so George Alusik. Let's talk about George here real quick. George was drafted, signed as a free agent, I should say, by the Detroit Tigers in 1953, and he had 2 at-bats in 1958 when he came up and made his major league debut September 11th of 1958. And George, in a interview, had said that that first year he got to see Ted Williams. The Red Sox played the Tigers, and he said Ted Williams was just probably the greatest player he'd ever seen. And he talked about watching from the Tigers dugout as Ted Williams took batting practice. He said before you knew it, there were probably 20 guys from the Tigers team in their dugout just watching Ted Williams just stroke the ball. And he said he'd never seen a swing so pure and the contact so great. And he said it was just really something to see Ted Williams. And he remembered that Detroit drew a pretty good crowd for that series because Ted was kind of winding down towards the end of his career, and people wanted to get a chance to see him. They knew his greatness, but George talked about seeing the great Ted Williams, and it's kind of cool here to show his 1958 card because that was when George stood in the Detroit dugout to watch Ted Williams take batting practice. And George made it back to the big leagues again in 1961. Where he had 14 at-bats, and then he was traded to the Athletics in 1962. But George did talk about the other great player, and he said, being a teammate of Al Kaline, briefly in the big leagues, but seeing Al Kaline all those years in spring training, he said just an unbelievable player. And I love this 55 Bowman of Kaline, just a fantastic card. And boy, I just love this card. And just a beautiful card of Al Kaline. And then my other favorite card of Kaline is this 1956 Topps. Man, that's a beautiful card. Love it. And so George said, that Kaline was something else to see day after day, day in, day out, spring training or during his time with him in the big leagues. But George was then traded to the Kansas City Athletics. And in 1962, he played 92 games, and that was his best year. He hit 11 home runs, had 35 RBI, and he had a 270 batting average. And then in 63 and 64, he played in 189 games total. So he had some decent playing time with the Athletics. And he was traded after the 64 season to the San Francisco Giants, but he never did play for the Giants. He never played in the MLB again, and retired after the 65 season in the minor leagues. And as I mentioned on the back of the card, George did have 2 batting crowns in AAA in the minor leagues. And he was the first player for the Athletics to hit 5 home runs in 5 consecutive days. And although he was a light hitter, he only hit 23 home runs for his career. 5 of them he had in 5 back-to-back days, consecutive games. And like I say, George, he ended up with a 256 average and 23 home runs and 93 RBI. And that's the story of George Alusik. And it was truly the glory of his times in the Major League Baseball. Take care, everyone.